So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Oh la la. In today's video, I'm going to be relaxing my back. Thank God I'm not discussing anything criminal or serious. This is like my fourth or is it fifth video that I'm shooting, and I need to rest my back. Please forgive me. So this video is going to be very revealing. There's going to be a lot to learn. We're going to rub minds, and I'm going to share my thoughts on what's happening with Regina and Ned Nwoko. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and what I think about this issue that has so catapulted and somersaulted on social media. Right? In our last video, I revealed to you guys what Senator Ned Nwoko said is the reason for Anne's arrest. That's Regina Daniels' best friend's arrest. And he mentioned that she procured drugs for Regina. She procured an illegal abortion. You know, so many things. You know what happened. You can watch the video if you haven't yet. I also disclosed that procurement of an illegal abortion is also an indictment on Regina, because the law, while stating a 14-year jail term for someone that assists another to procure an abortion, it also states a 7-year jail term for one who self-induces it. So Regina is also implicated in that allegation, and some people were like, oh, if that is the case, then this man is just piling evidences and making a case that one day he's going to swoop on Regina, that for now he's just tackling the people around her, her support system, her family, her friends, that at the end of the day he is going to pounce on her, and he's gathering all his weapons, all the weapons in his arsenal, so she should better be ready. We had that conversation about whether it's in her best interest to remain in Nigeria or if she should just stay abroad, and people had their various opinions. And right in that video, some people were also very shocked at the contrasting turnout of events between Regina and Ned. They were like, how can these two people who have projected such love, such perfection, turn out to be such sworn enemies? How can this man, who would always stick to social media, oh, Regina my love, Regina my heartbeat, Regina my sugar pie, Regina my sugar cane, be so fixated on having her completely destroyed, according to these people, right? That the way he is so bent on pulling her down, having her brand destroyed, dealing with her ruthlessly, that it is such a shock. And it is on those comments and on those grounds that I want us to have this conversation. Before we proceed, a quick reminder: if you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching us without subscribing, hello. You are shooting yourself in the leg. You are missing out on so much. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and share your thoughts. In fact, that's the funnest part, sharing your thoughts down in the comment section. Don't also forget to join our exclusive channel where you learn so much directly from me, or buying our book if you need a guide in relationships and marriages. So let's get back to this video. When this fight between Regina and Ned was at its most intense, I'm sure some people will be like, Neza, it's still intense now, but there was a time that it was even lots more intense than it is now. It's just that because of the parties involved, this intensity has refused to go off. But typically when we get these kinds of couple wahala, within a month, 2 weeks, 1 week, it dies off. But this one has gone several months because of the repeated insistence of releasing statement and alleging. So it's crazy. But yeah, before it got to this stage, when the whole drama broke out on social media, when the back and forth was really heated, emotions were spiraling out of control, it was so tense on social media, and there was this back and forth between Regina and her camp and Ned, alleging and counter-alleging. There was this very hot and dirty post that Regina made, right? There was this revelation alleging that Regina alleged. And that alleging by Regina that she posted back then, if you do remember, in fact, let me just read briefly what it said for those that didn't come across it, or for those that may have forgotten. Ned, can you actually leave me alone? Why are you trying so hard to ruin me publicly? and privately, because you know in my part of the world, a good reputation equals money. You tracked my life since 17, so this is me fighting for my freedom. I still have a long way to go and you are almost done. You introduced me to the drugs, ecstasy, molly, just to be able to satisfy you. And that's the only drug I know of, which reduced the rape because it made our sexual life wild. And that's how you love your women, wild and erotic, while you took Viagra. Hence your frequent blood pressure spike. Remember, I have rushed you to the hospital countless times because of this reason. God have mercy. Let's go to this part that I want us to address. I'm still giving you the last respect as the father of my kids with everything that has happened and what you've covered up with money. If you don't leave me alone, I'm going to dig and spill everything. Whether murder case, land grabbing, fraud, etc. As the father of my kids, I know health-wise you are not sound and I don't want to send you to your early grave. Respect yourself. So according to these words by Regina, she's saying that, Ned, don't make me spill what I know on you, what I have on you, what I know about you. From this case to that case to this case, you heard it from her own messages. And when she made these allegations, people were like, oh, if you really knew all of these things that you are now alleging, that you are claiming that this man did and did not do, so how come you were coming to social media to call him the best man in the world, to say that he's the most wonderful man in the whole of Igbo land? When he gives you money and material things, you project him to be the best thing in the world after sliced bread and agege bread. You died here, we go nowhere, I die here. They were like, how come you were doing that? Despite having this knowledge of these allegations, as you claim, including murder and all these atrocities as you are claiming. Several human rights activists have come out to say that this man, oh God, this is what this man did, this is what this man is.
This so-called billionaire was just throwing people in prison. And when we got to prison, we found 9 people that had been put in prison by the same Neduwoko from his village. If you guys paid attention to it, there was a time Neduwoko also went and hijacked one lady's father. The lady was crying all over social media that Ned has ruined their. Ned has ruined a lot of lives using the police force. We have found out also that he has done cross-border prostitution by bringing in underage girls from places like Morocco. Neduwoko was the person I fought some 5 years back when he was prosecuting falsely and oppressively a lady known as Jaruma who used to sell aphrodisiacs to Nigeria. These are international sex trafficking crimes. So his license is also our target, that he's not allowed to practice law both in Nigeria and the UK. Samuel Ojogu, that's Regina's brother. And we were able to get him freed on Monday after spending about 3 nights in detention in an unjust and unlawful and illegal manner. So after freeing him, I discovered that Ned had other plans in place to arrest Regina's mom. He had intercepted Regina's phone calls and was going to use it against her. He was planning to reveal and release her private chats and private parts in the open. You must understand that I'm not fighting for Regina Daniels. I'm fighting against abuse of office by a Nigerian senator who is colluding with the Nigeria police and who has had a history of using the police to oppress people.
Even his brother didn't have anything pleasant to say.
All right, so this is for Ned. Ned, I don't have any means of reaching you. For how many years you don't take my calls? We have no contact with you. I don't know how many more calls you have that have access to you. But as a brother, I have tried to tell you the truth through this same medium, Facebook. you are bringing so much disrepute to the name Nwoko. One of the major laws that you must know is the law of sowing and reaping. You are complaining that you did this, that you did that. Not once have you told the world how that you are from a poor home, that your father is poor and that your mother was poor, and that it was Omonye that sent you to the University of Kell in Staffordshire in London, in the United Kingdom. That you couldn't go to university locally here because there was nobody to send you. But you come on social media, you are acting like you're some big man who made it by yourself. Everybody who has helped you in your life, you have betrayed such a person. The number one person you betrayed was Prince Daniel Omonye Nwoko, my immediate elder brother. You came to our house there when we were living at number 32 Awoyoko Street. You begged and begged and begged and begged, and he agreed. When your auntie, who is a very rich woman in Port Harcourt, couldn't help you, refused to help you, not that he couldn't help you, refused to help you. The Chazos who were super rich at the time, they refused to help you because of your bad character. But Omonye thought about it that, look, if we send you, you will open doors for other Nwokos. He sent you to London and arranged for you to stay with Uzo Jebose. What did you do when you got to Jebose? You disrupted his house. You caused him pain, chased him out of London. Now you are complaining. You are reaping what you have sown, and you haven't even started. You haven't seen nothing yet.
But suddenly, that man was a perfect man to you because you stood to benefit from him at the moment. And the honest and basic truth is that that is what a lot of we women do. We are bereft of truth and clarity, of boldness and honesty, of calling a spade, or at least keeping quiet and being neutral if you don't want to call that spade out. That is what a lot of we women are, especially with men that we are actively benefiting from. Most women, not only where their fellow women dey, now they get power. Now, this video is not to refute or confirm Regina's allegations against Senator Ned, but rather to raise some salient points that need deep reflection from all of us watching me. How a person is, what they do to, how they treat people that they aren't romantically linked with is exactly who they are. Not the version that they give people whom they share a romantic love with. Because I have heard some people say, oh, he never really loved her. He never loved her. He did this. You see that version of that person that he gives people that he is not in love with or she is not in love with is whom they truly are. You see, romantic love. Romantic love can be very powerful. It can be very powerful and consuming. In fact, most of the biggest stories in the world are love stories, right? So romantic love is very powerful, but I assure you, it can be seasonal. In marriages, especially long-term marriages, love expands and then it contrasts and then it rests. It can get tired. It can get boring. It can even get annoying and then it can be rekindled. That is why some people, when they just start out at love or romance, you see that all those little things that person does, it'll be exciting you. It's so cute, like how he chews, how he walks, how she asks you where you are. Oh, baby, where are you? Oh, it's so sweet. Along the line, after 10 years in marriage, that same chewing that man was chewing that you found so cute, look at the way he takes his food. You start getting like, why is this man eating apple like Godzilla? Why are you chewing like that? And that checking on, you start wondering, make this woman free me now. I just went somewhere. I'm coming back. Why is she calling me? All those things that were so fascinating at the onset of romantic love, with time, with familiarity, they can even start to become annoying. And that's why people who have been married for a long time, if you've been married for a long time watching me, you would admit that there are some days that your husband will be the best thing that has ever happened to you. And you just thank God, thank you for giving me this man. But in the next breath, the next day, you can just sit down and be wondering who supplied you with the colors that you chewed that's made you agree to marry this man. He becomes the most annoying human being in the world. That is marriage, and these fluctuations are normal. Healthy marriages are mostly made up of two seasons. Seasons of passion and seasons of duty. And these two seasons can come with a fluctuation of feelings. Feelings are not stable. They are not static. And that's why I always encourage my women, do not make permanent decisions based on temporal feelings, right? Because feelings fluctuate. But do you know what is constant? Do you know what does not fluctuate? Character. A person's character. Your spouse's character. And that's why when I hear, for example, a woman left her husband, maybe he's very sick, she just abandoned him, blanked him at the heart of his illness because maybe they had a little misunderstanding. Or you hear a man asking a woman to go and fry plantain when she is in the heat and heart of grief. The day maybe a parent died, you hear a man saying, it is not, won't she cook for her husband? Yeah, it is just a clear indication of character that shows when romantic love is diluted. And this is what shows up in, for example, I love practical examples. This is what shows up, for example, where maybe a man and a woman are going through a divorce. And you will see that man still showing some manners, some respect, some decorum, some mindfulness and thoughtfulness, still staying true to the duties that he owes his children, despite he's not in good terms with their mother. Why? But he's no longer in love with her. It's not like he's still in love with her. He has no need to impress her. So why is he suddenly not treating her like shit when romantic love has evaporated or disappeared? Why? It is because that is his character. To be civil is his character. And this is the reason I always encourage all of us, women and men, especially women, because somehow we are the ones that get the short end of the rope, short end of the stick. That is why I always encourage all of us to choose character first above every and any other thing. Character is more consistent, is more dependable, is more sustainable, and it far outlives romance or romantic love. Dear ladies and gentlemen, you see, that way that your spouse treats people that they are not emotionally invested in, people that they are not sleeping with, people that they don't need to impress, or they don't need to seduce or keep or do all the way they treat those kinds of people reveal who exactly they are, their true character. And that is how they will treat you during those seasons where passion is low or where passion is fully extinguished. Do you know the truth sometimes? When people say, pick a kind husband, do you know that you don't really pick a kind husband? You pick a kind person. Are you aware? Do you know that people who are enjoying kind spouses or nice spouses, thoughtful spouses, people who are married to these kinds of spouses are not really married to kind spouses. They are married to kind people. They are married to people who are generally not ruthless. Those kind spouses are generally kind people most times. And those spouses that lack common sense and lack empathy in marriages and relationships, those ones that argue that a woman should be able to fry plantain for her husband the day her father died, those ones that lack empathy or lack common sense in marriages and relationships are usually people who generally lack common sense, lack empathy per usual. Just like an authoritative person will most likely make an authoritative spouse. There is no cloakroom where characters are hung in marriages and then picked up at will, at once pleasing. Marriage does not create new personalities. It amplifies existing ones. So I need us to learn this. It will really help us in our association with people and how we make choices around life partners. Someone, anyone who can comfortably, heartlessly be cruel to others doesn't suddenly become a nice person because they are being nice to you alone, or because you are in a position where you are enjoying that niceness. They are simply people who have capacity for cruelty and who feel justified using it when they believe that they have the upper hand. And at that moment, when you are currently enjoying it, you might feel special, you might feel loved. Because that cruelty is not being meted out to you. But believe me, that cruelty that is being directed elsewhere, when conflict arises, when familiarity grows, when love is fatigued or, God forbid, dies, then you will move from that exception that you enjoyed to that inclusion that you ignored. Your eye go peel, and you can take that to the bank. It might look like, oh, red flags, Otipoju, Barrister Neze, everywhere we go to on social media, they say, don't marry this one, you don't. Which one can remain? Which man remain now? Which woman can remain? Everybody is a walking red flag. Well, personally, you would very hardly hear me say, don't. I will only tell you, watch out, be careful. So if you make your decision and say, oh, this is what I'm aware of, I'll give you clarity, right? I'll tell you what to expect. I'll tell you the most possible outcomes. Then you can now decide on if it's something that you can manage, if it's something that you can deal with, so you won't be taken by surprise. So shock will not be your case. So then you can enter the relationship with clarity, knowing that these are the possibilities for you. This case is really getting sad, really. It has gotten so unfortunate, so out of hand. We will keep watching, and if anything new, anything substantial makes it out, be sure that I will let us know. Let us get our thoughts down in the comments section. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you are seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your thoughts down in the comments section, and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. It's me, your girl, Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.